So I feel like I've been talking about growing in my eyebrows a lot lately, and I thought it would be kind of fun to share the process of what I'm doing to let them grow in, as well as how it has changed how I fill them on the regular. So let's start with what I've been doing. I've been leaving them alone for the most part. I'm really not doing a lot of tweezing unless there is something that is really far down on my eyelid. I'm not touching it. I'm leaving it alone. I'm letting them get a little wild. As you can see, there's lots of new little hairs coming in, and I've even let them get a little bit fuller at the fronts, which is kind of a new venture for me. So leaving them alone has been like step number one. Number two, at nighttime, I am taking a spoolie and I am just rubbing a little bit of this Jamaican black castor oil on them, kind of fluff through them, smooth it out with my finger, and go to bed. That seems to be working pretty well. As you can see, they're pretty patchy. I have fun shaped eyebrows where they get really high on the top of the peak, and then I have this funky little dip, and then they get kind of fat again on the ends. They've been like this my entire life, and I'm just rolling with it. If only I would have left them alone. Maybe I could be famous like Carly Kloss for having like that real high, like up here peak of an eyebrow. Anyway, so the way that I have changed filling my eyebrows is that I am really kind of structuring this little patch right here. I have kind of dropped my arch because I want them to look a little more straight and less of a high arch, and it gives more of a youthful effect. I make sure to fill this little gap here, and I'm really kind of accentuating where that top peak is as well, because it's just my natural eyebrows quirk, right? So let me show you what I do. I take a really cheap e.l.f. pencil. This is $2. And I just start filling that bottom line. And then instead of going real high up through my arch, because I'm letting that fill in a little bit more, kind of flatten that out. And then I just go straight. And instead of curving down with my brow, what you'll notice I do is I kind of go almost straight and up through those hairs. And now I'm gonna look for that little gap in my brow, connect it from the top of that peak, and fill that in. Oops, got a little bit too much there. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna brush up and forward and really kind of accentuate the front of my brow. Use little strokes so it looks a little more natural. And then what I like to do is kind of figure out where there are some holes in the color, and then just gently fill in those sparse spots. I'm gonna brush this down too and look at where my natural top of my peak of my brow is. And just because it's kind of quirky and it's how my eyebrow is shaped, I really have been kind of just following that really high peak at the top of my brow. And then again, just kind of go in and connect that down. So there we have the pencil portion of this new kind of bushy brow shape that I've been adopting. And the next step is going in with a brow gel. This is Glossier Boy Brow in the shade brown. And I like to really fluff it up. This also kind of helps to fill in further if there are any gaps. And I like to pull some of these new little hairs that are starting to grow and pull those up into that penciled shape that we've created. And now you'll notice the top of my brow is a little wild. I'm cool with it. You can just take your finger and kind of smooth that out if they are standing up too high. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll do one coat like that and then just kind of like let it dry down and then go back in with that second coat to really kind of voluminize it. And so you'll see like it's a pretty strong looking brow. So without further ado, I'm going to do the other side as well. And there you have it, my big bushy eyebrow routine. I just love this so much. I was looking at some old photos of myself from, gosh, like 10 years ago. I'll actually include one of those. But like my eyebrows were so pencil thin. And I feel like because I have such a round face and a lot of fullness through my cheeks, when my eyebrows are too skinny, it makes me look heavier than I actually am. And so like I just feel like this really, really thick eyebrow suits my face and my features a little bit better. And it's also really low maintenance. I'm just saying, like, quarantine has been a great time to try out some new things in my beauty routine. I'm still figuring out this hair because I've got more texture than I used to have, but whatever. That's another story. Anyway, I hope that this tutorial was helpful, and I will catch you next time. Bye.